At my shiny car. And that's what it stops at, right? There, you have to have the accent there. So anyways, look at my shiny car, and I have a Renault. But
when you do your accent, do you go to Yvan Lacroix?
Fellow detailers and everyone watching this video right now, as you can see, we have an amazing special guest over here for an amazing special TOC Supplies video. We're going to be touching up on a few topics here with Yvan Lacroix, and we're going to save a really good topic, a very controversial topic, for last.
Ooh.
All right. So we're just going to be touching up on some detailing industry topics here, and we're also going to touch up on some submitted questions from our clients and from our customers as well. Hopefully you can answer them, and
do my best.
We'll get right to it right now. How did you get into detailing? Because we do have some customers who have heard about you for the first time and they don't know who Yvan Lacroix is.
Right. I was running a business, so I'm a serial entrepreneur. I was running a business doing office cleaning. And one of my office cleaning customers asked if I could clean their car. So I cleaned their car, and they paid me more to clean their car than their office. Little light bulb. Secondly, I've been a car enthusiast all my life. So the two came together, detailing customers' cars, paid more than cleaning their offices, and was more fun. Expanded on the detailing side of things instead of the office cleaning side of things. And I've been doing it ever since.
Fantastic. Some of our customers that do know you also know that you've been with a few companies as well. You've basically stamped your Yvan Lacroix presence in some industries in the detailing industries. Can we expand a little bit about that? Maybe where in the industry have you been and which companies have you worked with?
Yeah, so I've worked with Porter Cable. So the Porter Cable polisher is my fault. I'm very sorry.
I love the Porter Cable. I started with the Porter.
And that's part of our controversy at the end, so stay tuned. The other company I worked with 3M for a while in their R&D department. And then I worked with Optimum Polymer Technologies. I've worked with a number of different companies that are with NDAs, so I won't name them, but many different companies in helping product development and marketing and sales, basically the whole aspect of it. So coaching them to grow. And then finally DIY detail. So DIY detail is sort of my swan song, if I'll put it that way.
I was just going to get right into DIY detail too.
So the culmination of what I've learned over the years, and I wanted to give back to the industry something that I felt was disappearing, and that is fun.
It's very true. Everyone's getting very serious. They're competing with who has the best methods, things like that.
Right.
And I do agree that one of the most important key factors of detailing that is now missing is the experience, fun.
So when I was a kid, riding my bicycle down the street, Saturday morning, you'd see all the dads out there washing the cars. You don't see that anymore. And with DIY detail, we wanted to bring that aspect back. So you can do it yourself. You can have fun. It's not a chore. It's an activity. It's a hobby. And professional detailers have picked up the line as well because the products are professional grade. There's no denying that. They're professional products. But with our social media presence, we have a relatively good social media presence so far. We do that, and we answer one question a lot of people don't answer: why? Why are we doing it this way? Why does it need to be done that way? Why are we doing this versus that? So we answer the why. And a lot of people, social media, YouTube we'll center on YouTube for a second here. It's a great educational resource. YouTube, I often call it YouTube University. Go to university, go to YouTube. It's probably better than going to U of T. But anyway,
you can find everything on YouTube now.
You can basically find everything. I think someone did brain surgery on there. I don't know. But
really?
I'm pretty sure someone has.
There's no limits.
There's no limits. But a lot of detailing channels on YouTube are, and in their own right, they say they're not educational, they're informational, or they're entertainment. So, a lot of the disaster detail ones, it's great entertainment. It's fun seeing that pressure washer going across and the dirt just leaving.
It is.
They do great editing, things like that. They don't explain why they're doing anything.
Right.
So our content is a little drier in the sense of, we're not there to be funny. We're not there to have bloopers and things like that. but we're there to educate. We're there to teach.
Yeah.
And that's been my role for the last 40 some years in the industry, is teaching and allowing the industry to evolve. I'm learning every day. I learn something new every day in this industry, and I won't stop learning because this industry keeps expanding, keeps getting better. There's new people coming in every day, and just because you've only been detailing for one day doesn't mean you don't have anything to contribute to the industry.
Exactly.
Everyone can learn from everyone.
And that's kind of what we wanted to expand on as well. It was it's a little later down in the 5 topics that we had to cover, but I'm gonna jump right into it. And that is when people do get into the detailing industry, there's a lot of sides that they can learn from in the detailing industry. They'll either watch YouTube videos and that's how they learn, then get into the business, provide the services. And so it gets to me sometimes because there are some people out there who simply just watch a video and suddenly they think, you know, they're a professional detailer, they go out there providing the service. Do you think that the detailing market is saturated with both professional detailers and mainly just people going into the business thinking, oh, you know what, this is gonna be easy, I can just do it, I don't need training, anything like that?
Yes and no. So detailing has always had a very low cost of entry.
Right.
You don't need a professional certification to become a detailer. You don't need 5 years of university to become a detailer. You can buy a bucket, a sponge, a bit of soap, and you're a detailer. You're not really a detailer at that point, you're a car washer. But and in the UK, they actually divide it better. So they have detailing and valeting.
Valeting.
Everybody pronounces it differently. However you'd like to pronounce it, it's good on us.
It's all on you guys.
Yeah, exactly. But they really separate the car washing industry versus the detailing industry.
Right.
And that's hand washing. Now, in North America, we have the automated car washes. You have some mobile car washing companies. And then you have detailers. And there's mobile detailers and there's shop detailers. And yes, you can learn everything off social media, but then you need to practice. Just because you've seen someone do it on a video doesn't mean you can go and do brain surgery.
Exactly.
Detailing is not brain surgery. It's easy, it's simple, but you need to practice. And before you charge someone else to do it, make sure you're using the best practices that you can, and get good chemicals and good equipment as well. You can go to Canadian Tire and they have a plethora of products there.
A bunch.
A
bunch of easy to use products.
Some are good. Some are really good. Some are really cheap. And I'm not talking price, I'm talking quality. So, be careful of what you're using. Do some testing for yourself and find out that, yes, this product really is good. I really like using this product. And there's some of those products out there. There's some companies, they just have 20 of everything. They have 18 soaps and 5 polishes and all sorts of different products. You don't need that. So find a product line you like, and you can mix and match from different product lines. You don't have to stick with just one product line. And that's another thing that in this industry, especially in the coating industry, people get very single-minded. It's like,
let's get right into it.
I'm only wearing this color because that's the color of the coating company I use. Don't do that. If you're dealing with a coating company and they ask you to be exclusive, maybe look somewhere else. It's not, there should never be exclusivity. And that's a two-sided street. Also, for the coating company, as a detailer, you should not be asking them to say, okay, block off this 50-mile radius around my shop because I want to be the only one.
I'm going to be the only one applying these coatings.
No, it's not necessary.
That's very huge in the market nowadays, especially, and again, we're not knocking on any brands here or anything like that, but it's just understanding the industry as well, how business works, because you're right, there are people out there who are sticking to that one coating because it's the best. I got training on it. I got certified on it. We all got to remember as well that a lot of these certified coatings are just SiO2 products. There's no complicated chemical mixtures in them. It doesn't have angel dust or anything like that. No. It's literally SiO2. And some carriers.
There's all sorts of different things, but basically in the coating industry, I've always felt that the simpler the better, first of all, and coating companies are not paying rent.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, in some installers' social media, you don't even see their company name, you see the coating company's banner.
Yeah.
Not a good thing.
Yeah.
The other thing is coatings have evolved. I've been installing coatings over 20 years.
Yeah.
So it's not a new industry.
100%.
It's been around a long time. And with coatings, if your coating is saying you need multiple layers, or you need IR curing lamps, or you need to keep it inside for 72 hours or 24 hours, look somewhere else.
Yeah.
If they haven't done the work to evolve their coating to make it so that they can do what a coating needs to do.
Yeah.
Especially as a professional detailer, you're an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Meaning that every square foot that you're renting or buying or whatever, paying the mortgage on, you're paying for.
Exactly.
And every minute that square foot is occupied, it's costing you money.
Exactly.
So if you have a coating that can be released 1 hour after it's installed in the pouring rain or in a snowstorm, great.
Yeah.
If you have a coating that requires it to sit there for 72 hours or 24 hours
days,
between
3
these
days.
that's taking up space. Unless you have a huge warehouse like
Right.
TOC has and just filled with cars and you can let them sit there and you're not paying anything for that space, then yeah, go for it. But question your coating company. And I installed a coating recently, and it's a professional only coating that was so difficult to install that it was the hardest coating I've ever installed. And this was this company's new coating on the market. And for their installers, they're so brainwashed that they think it's the greatest thing on earth.
Right.
It's not slick, it's rubbery.
It's very grabby, right?
Yeah, and it's very, very difficult. Like, I mean, physically difficult to apply.
Really?
A really good installer can get a car done in 4 hours.
Yeah.
I'm not talking the prep.
Yeah.
I'm talking just
the application.
applying the coating on the paint. Whereas other coatings on the market, half an hour and you're done.
Yeah.
And 1 hour later, it dries away.
Yeah.
So it's question your suppliers as to why do I need to do this?
Yeah,
You know?
because at that point, it's already that's a marketing and sales strategy. Then at that point, because they're really trying to get you to get invested into this brand by saying this many layers. This means that this is very good because it's got 20 layers.
Right.
But let's say a DIY detail 5-year coating and a 20 layer 5-year coating. Like where's the win in that? And especially if we're thinking business too, because you're right. If you're applying 20 layers of coating on a vehicle, that car's going to stay in there for hours. When you can just get a simple, easy to use product, apply it with a 1-layer coating, and it's ready to go out, ready for the next car in. So you got to ask yourselves which makes the most sense. Are you willing to spend that time putting the 20 layers of coating and you're...
And 20 layers, you slightly exaggerate.
It's exaggerated.
It's
it is.
No.
It is slightly exaggerated, but what makes more sense, right? And what's more efficient and effective for your business?
Yeah.
That 20-layer coating or the 1-layer coating, where it's easy to apply. Boom, car's out, next one in.
Exactly.
Right? So since we are touching up a little bit more on the detailing industry, talking about coatings, technology, products, everything like that, where do you think the detailing industry stands right now? Does it need improvement in terms of product, techniques? Are we evolving? Where is the detailing industry in the business side of things and in the enthusiast side of things as well?
Right, so right now I feel the industry is at a bit of a crossroads.
Right.
With the instigation of coatings in the market, it's changed a lot of things in the industry.
Okay.
And it's continuing to change that. One of the things that it's changed primarily is it's made detailers into entrepreneurs. Because before, when I started detailing, we do a wash and wax for $250, and that was about as, maybe a paint correction, get that bill up to $500. Now we're doing coatings starting at $15.
Headlight restos.
And working your way up. So detailers, despite themselves, are becoming entrepreneurs. And the reason I say despite themselves is now they're dealing with customers that are paying $1,500, $2,000 for coating. They're getting that money, meaning they have more money in the bank, and money attracts money. And they're dealing with customers that are entrepreneurs and are business owners and managers and CEOs that they're getting something from that relationship. So I see the detailing industry getting to be more and more of a business.
Right.
As far as the products go, there's a lot of brands on the market. Nobody really has crappy products.
Yeah.
Because of social media, you can't have a crappy product anymore.
Everything is good.
Everything needs to be good.
Yeah.
You know, one example, Pan the organizer.
Yeah.
He gets a lot of flack in the industry because he only talks
Great guy,
well.
by the way. Great guy.
He is. And Pan only talks well about products.
Yeah.
Well, all the products you guys have here in the showroom is nothing compared to what he has in his basement. What we see in his videos is only a very small selection. That shelf that seems loaded with products.
On the other side,
Yeah, his basement is like 20 or 50 of those shelves. It's just full because people keep sending him product, and he won't talk about a product he won't use.
Right.
He doesn't want to do negative. There's enough positive to not need any negative.
Yeah.
He doesn't need clickbait. He doesn't need views. You know, he's got 900,000 subscribers now.
So almost a million now.
Yeah, so he's close to a million, so he's doing well there. But he's chosen, and he's always chosen, to only highlight products and brands that he'd actually use.
Right.
So, and that's something that the industry can take example from him.
Yeah.
There's a lot of negativity in this industry. So one of the things that is overly dominant in this industry is egos.
Yeah.
And it comes back to how most people get started in the industry. So they started with just a bucket and a wash mitt and a bit of soap, and now they have this building and they have employees and all that. That's something that you should be proud of.
Yeah.
And there's a difference between pride and ego. And you see it in the detailing groups a lot. Some of the detailing groups on Facebook are very toxic.
Yep.
And
attest to that.
Yeah, exactly. You know, they're very toxic, while as others are very supportive.
Right.
So if you're in a toxic group, leave.
Yeah.
And some of the the better groups, the supportive groups, people are there to help each other.
Yeah.
And people realize that there's more than enough cars to go around for all the detailers.
Yeah.
And detailers get caught up with, well, I'm the best. You're not.
Yeah.
Nobody is the
No,
best.
nobody is the best.
Right. You know, there is no best in this industry. There's no best soap. There's no best rinseless. There's no best ceramic coating. There's no best detailer.
Yeah.
We're all doing our best to further ourselves.
I like that.
And help our customers.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that once detailers realize that there's more than enough cars to go around.
Yeah.
I don't need to shout from the rooftops that I'm the best. I just need to gather those Google reviews to show that I'm the best.
Yeah.
But getting all that settled in and getting done, and once this industry lets go of that super big ego,
Yeah.
and realizes that we're all in this together.
Yeah.
I did a training in Poland, and Poland, they have a very different mentality. I had the 50 top detailers in Poland were together in one room.
Right.
Because they all support each other. They all look out for each other. They all, if someone says, hey, I came up with this technique and it's saving me 20 minutes on every detail.
They're very receptive with that.
Yeah, and they're going to tell everyone that, hey, I found a way to save you 20 minutes.
Oh,
All right, I found a way to save you half an hour. Or my employees like doing it this way better.
Right.
And so it really is a different perspective. In North America, we're very insular and it's my secret, I'm keeping it.
So what makes that then? So what is happening here in North America that is making detailers do that, to where, this is my secret. Oh, you told me something that works for you? Oh no, I'm not gonna take it in but why does it work somewhere else? What do you think
Well, in other countries, to start a business, you need to have a proof of business. So you can't just start at the back of your trunk and do it sort of under the radar, away from the government for a few years, then maybe get insurance. And no, you need to, if you're starting a business, you need to start a business.
Yeah.
And so it's the same thing. Another area I went to is the Middle East.
Yeah.
Same thing. When they start a business, there's no under the table sort of thing. It's you're starting a business.
Okay, interesting.
So there's investment there. And it's the same thing. You want to start a restaurant.
Yeah.
In the restaurant industry, they all help each other out.
Yeah.
In the car wash industry, they all help each other out, because when you're starting a car wash, you're starting with a $1 to $2 million investment minimum.
Yeah.
And there's more cars that go through a car wash in a day in whatever city you're in. I don't care.
Very true.
There's more cars that go through a car wash in a day than most detailers do in a year.
Very true. Very true. And which actually brings me to my next topic, which I wanted to expand on, the car wash market and the detailing industry as well. It's a very interesting kind of topic that we want to get into, because majority of the people are still towards the car wash market, and then you have the more the customer who wants a little bit more detail, who wants a little bit more flair on their vehicles, and
right.
So then they go to the detailer. Is the detailing industry currently right now ahead of the car wash market? And if not, what can we do to educate people who do use the car wash to kind of transition to maybe detailing? And I know a lot has to do with, but I like the car wash. It's very easy in and out. There are customers and people who are like, I don't really care. I just take it through the car wash.
Right.
We're gonna have some people like that too. But
yeah, and the car wash industry, first of all, has changed dramatically in the last 15 years or so.
Yeah.
They're always evolving. So it's a high dollar business. Mm-hmm. So they're always striving to be better. Mm-hmm. And the machines now, the chemicals are getting better. And you can wash a car, I used to have the Fiat.
Yeah.
We took it through 74 car washes.
Nice.
Repeatedly.
With the touchless or?
No, with the
brushes?
Actually, 70 with brushes, 4 touchless.
Nice.
And the reason we did that was to show that a ceramic coating can withstand a car wash.
That's what it's made for.
Yeah. B, a car wash and detailing should not be mutually exclusive.
Right.
They can work together.
Yep.
And there are some good car washes out there.
Yeah.
There are some very bad car washes, but there are some good ones. And the detailing industry shouldn't try to compete against the car wash industry.
It's a whole new different.
It's never going to work.
Yeah.
It's like home cooking versus McDonald's.
Yeah.
The detailing is home cooking. It's wholesome, it's valuable. It has all sorts of things in it.
Yeah.
The fast food place, that's fast food.
Yeah.
Yes, it takes away your hunger temporarily.
Yeah.
And it might taste good.
Yeah.
The car wash, you have the nice flashy foams and the lights and stuff, and it's fun. And your car is cleanish when it comes out. It's not the same as a detail.
No.
And the car wash industry has never pretended that they're detailing cars.
Yeah.
They have never tried to compete with detailers.
Right.
And they don't. And because they're in their lane and they know exactly what their lane is.
Right.
Detailers, some of them try to compete with car washes by lowering their prices to car wash prices. And that's just hurting the detailing industry. You're a premium service, charge a premium price.
Yeah.
But give a premium service as well. The price has to go with the service.
Yeah.
And we don't see it here in Canada too much, but when you go down into the southern US, you see a lot of people that they'll have a pickup truck or a trailer, just a water tank, a pressure washer, and maybe some soap. Maybe they don't use soap. And they just basically hose off the car and dry it off, and they call that detailing. They're competing with the car wash market.
Right, which makes more sense. But here in Canada, it's definitely a little different. I've actually been further down. How far south are we talking? Florida, Texas, maybe?
Where it doesn't have winter.
Where they don't have winter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, speaking of which, now that we talk about, you add a little bit of winter in there. I've had this question before, and it's been asked many, many times for me, and I've answered it the same way. I'd love to hear your opinion on that, by the way. So it's when customers and basically just anyone asking about ceramic coatings in terms of durability.
Right.
So they'll say, again, this whole debate of products and my skill that, and this and this and that, there will be some debate between which coating has the best durability.
Right.
And it's going to be a different durability when it comes to an environment that has winter, salt, magnesium on the road, compared to some places in, I don't know, let's say Texas or California or Florida, something like that.
Yeah, if you're a garage kept car in San Diego, your ceramic sealant's going to last for decades. And if you're in a harsh environment, Toronto is not that harsh.
Yeah.
Let's go a little further north. You're in Barrie, you're in North Bay, something like that. Or you're in Calgary, whatever.
Yeah.
You have salt on the road, you have magnesium chloride, you have beet juice, you have all sorts of things attacking your car in the winter. And you don't wash your car in the winter, you don't keep it in a garage.
Right.
Yeah, your coating might degrade a little faster.
Yeah.
Now, a good quality coating is actually still going to be there. Yeah. Some of the characteristics of the coating might go away. So you might lose a bit of the shine. You might lose a bit of the hydrophobics, but the protection that the coating provides is there, if it's a good quality coating.
Yeah.
Higher quality coatings do not sit on the paint. They become part of the paint.
Yeah.
And one thing I did in my shop was we always left a high spot on the car.
Okay.
Every car had a high spot, but in the same place. So, you have the grill, and then you have that opening in the bumper below it.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, the upper part of that lower opening,
Yeah.
we'd put a high spot there. And that high spot never goes away, meaning the coating has never gone away.
It's standing the test of all the abrasions and everything
exactly.
that's coming through the that part of the vehicle, yeah.
Exactly. So we could prove to the customer when they come back 2 or 3 years later saying, hey, my coating is gone. It's like, let's have a look.
Yeah, and then boom.
Look, the high spot is there. Your coating is still there.
Yeah.
What's happening is you've lost some of the characteristics of your coating.
Right.
You may have lost that hydrophobic behavior. And we can bring that back through a chemical decon.
Yep.
Your car might be contaminated. We had one customer that 2 months after having his coating installed,
I don't have my hydrophobics in my
he was
coating.
yelling and screaming that his car was a hoax and nothing was working. We had him bring it in, and it was a white Tesla. The gentleman owns a trucking company.
Yeah.
Well, he parked his Tesla right by the gate where all the trucks stopped to put in the code to open the gate and take off again. His Tesla still looked white.
Right.
When you felt it, it felt like sandpaper.
Oh yeah.
And he said, well, I wash my car, 2 or 3 times a week. Great, beautiful. You wash your car 2 or 3 times a week, but if you decontaminated your car, and he didn't believe in contamination and all that.
Right.
So I just took a bit of iron remover and sprayed it on the car, and it just lit up red, like, phew.
Oh my God.
Because, all the brake dust from the trucks.
Brake dust from the trucks.
So after that, he realized that the coating is still there. Coating is still doing exactly what it needs to do, and it protected his vehicle much better than if he hadn't had a coating. But he needs to decontaminate. So everyone's situation is different. Every vehicle is driven differently.
Yeah.
My personal vehicle, it's towed behind a bus 50,000 miles a year, so 80,000 kilometers.
I've seen it myself.
It's behind a bus. And 3 feet behind a bus. Next winter, if you're brave, or stupid, probably stupid, but anyways, when you're going down the highway and there's a transport truck there, when it's raining and snowing and slushy, go 3 feet behind it. 1 meter, we're in Canada, right?
Yeah.
Go 1 meter behind it and stick there for 10 seconds, and then look at your car.
Yeah.
That's what my car goes through, and the coating holds up.
Yeah.
The coating does what it's supposed to do.
Yeah.
A coating is not a force field.
Right.
Never has been, never will be. Well, can't say never, but at this,
at this rate of technology advancement,
in my lifetime, it probably will never be a force field. But that being said, it still protects the car. It still makes the car super easy to clean.
Yeah.
Our car is dirty, and from a distance, it looks clean.
Yeah.
Because of the coating. So coatings have their place.
Yeah.
And to say a coating is gone, it's probably never gone.
Yeah.
It's diminished.
Right. Makes sense. Adding on to the whole debate of coatings and things like that, I actually wanted to touch up on something that is very heavily debated in the industry. And of course, like we said, we would leave it for last because before we head into some of the submitted questions from customers, by the way, and from some DIY detail product users, I really wanted to touch up on, and because I've seen this on social media, it's everywhere on YouTube, social media, Rotary versus DA. It is such a controversial topic. You have your die-hard Rotary fans and users, you have your die-hard DA guys, and there's just this divide between the two. And they're, I wouldn't say they're at war, that's a little aggressive, but they're constantly at each other, back and forth, the comments. Yeah, bro, get at me. We could polish whatever car at whatever time, wherever gear.
Exactly.
What's your take on that? How do we, I don't think we're gonna probably solve that because there's always gonna be that debate, but as long as we educate people on the Rotary and DA, where do we stand on that?
So we'll end the controversy right here. There is no debate, there's no controversy. Use the tool you want to use. It comes down to that. But let's look at it another way. So where this debate comes from. The Rotary has been misunderstood for all this time.
Yeah.
Because people are using it like we used it in the 70s. And we're no longer in the 70s. And we look at the advances in the liquids, so the polishes, the advancements in the pads, and the advancements in the machines.
Yeah.
When the DAs first came out, the first really popular DA was the Porter cable.
Yeah.
Again, I'm sorry.
I love it.
It was an adaptation of a sander that Porter cable we brought into the detailing market, thinking it would only be for home hobbyists. Never a professional would pick this thing up.
I had a 12 millimeter.
Yeah. But so the original Porter cable, 8 millimeter, that's a very short stroke.
Right.
It's not very aggressive. But now we have 15 and 21 millimeter machines. Those are aggressive.
Yeah.
And when you use the same pad, the same pressure, the same liquid on the same paint, 21 millimeter DA cuts much, much faster than the Rotary ever will.
Yeah.
But the rotary finish is so much better.
And you've actually explained this to me when we met the first time, and the last time you were actually here, and you explained why that is. And so with the 21-inch, with the 21 throw, compared to a rotary, you did say that was going to cut more.
Yeah.
Maybe we can expand a little bit on that.
Right. So a 21 millimeter DA. If we look at let me grab a pad here.
Yeah.
So we look at the pad. A rotary, all it does is turn.
Yep.
No big deal.
Yep.
A DA, or dual action, and we actually should call it a random orbital. But anyways, that's a subject for another day.
It's another topic.
Right.
Yeah.
But a DA, you have the rotation, but you also have the oscillation.
Yeah.
And if we eliminate the rotation part of it, so we just look at the oscillation, it's going back and forth 21 millimeters, or 15, or 8, or 12.
That's what the throw means.
Yeah, the throw. So it's off center by 21 millimeters.
Yep.
So that 21 millimeters, this is a wool pad, so it has fibers on it.
Yeah.
If we look at a foam pad, a little different. But basically what happens is the backing plate is moving to the right. And then it stops, it changes direction. The pad, because of its thickness and because of the friction on the surface, has a bit of inertia behind it.
Yep.
It's continuing to go to the right, even though the backing plate is going to the left.
So, yeah.
And then all of a sudden it reaches its point of elasticity, it snaps back, and then starts following the backing plate again till it gets to the other side.
Yeah.
When it's doing that, that's when that snapping back is when it digs in and causes micro marring.
Right.
And the reason I say that a rotary finishes better than a DA is you don't get that micro marring.
It's just one direction. It's just going in one direction.
Right.
Yeah.
And you don't get that. So micro marring, some people will never see it in their lives, and some of us, we can see it from a mile away.
Yeah.
It's a disease we have as detailers.
Yeah.
But the micro marring basically just means that the surface looks grayish.
Yeah.
You don't get everything you can possibly get out of the surface. And if you have a surface that has micro marring, you take your rotary, just do one pass.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden it's cleared up, it's gone.
Yeah.
So, and some people have problems with soft paint and saying, oh, soft paint, I get the micro marring, you get all sorts of things. One quick pass with the rotary and it's done.
Yeah.
Now, again, the rotary, people, I'm gonna get holograms. No.
Pigtailing and everything,
Right. Bad technique causes holograms.
Exactly.
Not the rotary.
Yep.
And the technique can be easily solved.
Yeah.
So first use a rotary specific pad, and that is a waffle pad.
Yeah.
Flat pads, I wake up around 3:15 every morning, so I can hate flat pads just a little longer every day. They're not, so they're very cheap to produce.
Yeah.
That's why manufacturers love flat pads.
Yeah.
They're cheap to produce, they don't last as long, they wear out faster. So there's, economical forces in the background saying, we want you to use flat pads.
Yeah.
But in reality, as a professional, as someone who's really an enthusiast of detailing, I want you to use waffle pads. So I've designed a specific pad for finishing with a rotary. And I've taken people that have never picked up a DA or a rotary. They've never polished in their lives.
Really?
They can finish on black soft paint
easily,
without any holograms, without any micro marring.
That's amazing.
With a rotary.
Yeah.
It's just having the right pad and the right technique. And the technique is, if it feels like you're working, you're doing something wrong.
Right.
So I barely hold on to the machine. I have 3, maybe 4 fingers on the machine, sometimes only 2.
Yeah.
So I'm letting the machine do the work. I'm not putting any pressure on the machine. Again, if it feels like you're working, stop. You're doing something wrong.
Back off a little bit, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No pressure on the machine, the lowest speed it will go, and it's just cruising on the paint, having fun.
It's just cream, just gliding right across, right?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I actually started transitioning from flat foam pads, to foam pads. Because we were working on a black Corvette, the is the new one the C8?
C8, yeah.
C8's the new one.
Yeah.
And those have quite a bit of edges, right? They're starting to look like stormtrooper cars.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
And so I found
those taillights are deadly.
Yeah. Laser-like kind of sharpness. But I started using, we wanted to try out the waffle pads, and of course we used the DIY waffle pads. I had so much more control. I was gliding over those curves much easier with a waffle pad.
Yes.
And because with a flat pad, I realized, and this is something that we talked about too with the first time you came, was that with a flat pad, it is hard to get that contour around curves unless you have to tilt your machine this way, you have to tilt your machine that. You have to find angles where you have to go upside down, things like that. But with the waffle pad, I was working with it with like no issue at all.
Right, better user experience.
Better user experience. It went over those curves much better, and so I mean the waffle pad really impressed for sure.
Yeah.
If we were to go back to the Rotary versus DA.
Yeah.
Since we were talking about pads, I not gonna lie, I've been getting quite a bit of flag myself as well.
Yeah.
I trained in a Rotary, folks, I swear, but I haven't picked one up in a while. I had this one debate with this one gentleman, and he didn't believe in the advancement of foam pads being on a Rotary.
Yeah.
Right, and he was like, no, it should always be Lamsel. It should be that back then paint, that back 80s, 70s kind of pad. And he didn't believe the advancement that Rotaries can take with these foam pads, especially, let's say, the red DIY jeweling pads we have, right?
And we had foam pads in the 70s. They're not new.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's when I was reading the comment, I'm like,
yeah.
Hold on a second, wait.
Yeah, no. Wool pads were prevalent.
Yeah.
But foam pads were there. And the waffle pad, so 3M had the patent on waffle pads for the longest time.
Yeah.
And they finally let it go. And the day they let go of the waffle pad patent, everybody started making waffle pads. Then they realized that they cost a lot more to manufacture.
Yeah.
So they're pushing us to flat pads.
Yeah.
I'm resisting that one. But nonetheless, with the foam, there's advancements in foam. You know, It used to be almost packing foam, and that's all we had.
Yeah.
There are many, many different types of foam, an open cell, closed cell, different ways of creating the foam that make it softer, harder, more durable. So a lot of different things.
Yeah.
And so foam definitely can be used on a Rotary, should be used on a Rotary, and the DA as well.
Yeah.
So they each have their place.
Yeah.
And like this pad here, I designed it specifically for the DA for cutting.
Yeah.
This pad with our polish will easily take out 1,000 grit sanding marks.
Yeah.
You don't need to get the Rotary and stand on it and put it on an angle and do all that to get sanding marks out. You can do it with this quite easily with the DA, and you'll do it faster, safer, you'll create less heat in the paint. So advancements in technology are there, and some people get set in their way. And the way I like to put it is, okay, so life has evolved.
Yeah.
Do you still go to a phone and do this?
Right.
Or do you take it out of your pocket and dial something?
Exactly.
Well, if you've been able to adapt to a cell phone, guess what? You can adapt to a new way of polishing.
Right.
If your television is a 12-inch black and white TV with antennas, rabbit ears, then
in the V.
Yeah, then we will grant you the pass. But if you have a flat screen TV and you have, you're watching TV on a tablet, it's a smart TV and all that, you've just proven to us you can change, you can adapt.
Right.
Detailing has changed dramatically.
Right.
And it continues to adapt, it continues to get better. We continue to have better products. R&D is a big part of detailing. Before, detailing companies were small companies. Bathtub blenders is a way that some people put it. You'd have local companies and they'd sell cheapish chemicals. But now we have worldwide brands that are producing spectacular products.
Great product.
And many different brands, many different products, they all do a good job. So find one that works for you, find a technique that works for you. And there's nothing wrong with saying, I am only gonna finish with a DA. And there's nothing wrong saying, I'm only gonna finish with a Rotary.
Right.
As long as you're happy with your results and your customer is happy, there's no controversy here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The Rotary is used for something else. The DA is used for something else. There's so many different application methods that you can use those two machines, and that's why I wanted to touch up on this subject, because it's such a back and forth topic. Always saying that this is better, but like you said, there is nothing better. Everything has a place for it, right? Yeah. So there you have it, folks. You got knowledge firsthand from Yvan here, and like as he mentioned earlier, whatever works for you. If you're gonna go for the DA, it works as well. And if you go for the Rotary, that's gonna work as well. It just applies in different scenarios. So Yvan, are you down to get to some submitted questions from our followers?
Yeah, and
boom.
I know you had a list, so here it is.
Yeah, thank you. thanks again for submitting some of these questions. We're definitely going to get down into detail. We're going to try and get as much from Yvan as possible. And so let's first start with Corner 93. So he topped off his car with gas, but the pump continued and it spilled out of the tank.
Yep.
Did the spilled fuel on paint affect the car, and what can I use to clean it?
So just wash the car. It's not going to damage the paint in any way. If you had a wax on the car, yeah, it may degrade the wax or a sealant. If you have a coating on the car, no harm, no foul.
No harm, no foul. It's happened to me actually quite a bit of times.
Yeah.
Luckily the car was coated, so
yeah.
I was safe on that end. We do have another one here from the Ferreira Life. What products does Yvan, this is a really good one too, I actually liked it. What products does Yvan use on his personal vehicle? Is it DIY because he gets a smoking deal? Yeah,
well, yes, it is DIY, definitely. The, most of the washing I do is rinseless washing.
Yeah.
For camera, we'll use the foam. Yeah, the foam is for fun.
Yeah.
But rinseless washing, ceramic gloss, those are my two go-to when I'm cleaning the car. And then all clean for the wheels and tires.
Yeah, and if you haven't seen that yet, we actually have a video on our YouTube channel that features Yvan and I working on his former, am I allowed to say? Former old red Fiat.
Yeah.
And it does feature the rinseless wash and all clean products in that video, so make sure you check that out. All right, so let's keep on going here. We have one from Cooley1022. Can you use tire shine from DIY Detail to shine up your all-weather mats?
Yes and no. So definitely you can put it on, let it sit, and then wipe off any residue. It may make them a little slicker.
Okay.
But Interior Clean and Protect actually does a great job of cleaning and not giving them shine, but giving them a bit of life back.
Perfect. I was actually thinking about that too, because if not tire shine, Interior Clean and Protect is gonna be that one step that you're gonna use. It's gonna be much faster, right?
Yeah.
Much faster, more efficient,
right.
more effective.
But the tire shine won't make them necessarily slippery.
Right.
We recently bought a car from a dealership that they had the WeatherTech mats in them.
Yeah.
That they had put something on. It's still a slippery mess 3 months later. So
solvent-based, kind of oil-based.
Yeah. So
you don't want that on your. That can cause some accidents, folks.
Yeah.
We got another one here by. I'm sorry, I'm going to pronounce this wrong, but this is your Instagram handle, LCMRY.
Yep.
LCMRY. Will there be new products or new formulas in the DIY Detail lineup?
Definitely. New products coming soon. We have a waterless wash coming.
Oh yes.
And a wax that fills. So there's no questions that, we want fillers in this wax.
Yeah.
You're going to a show on the weekend. You don't have time to polish the car.
Yeah.
You don't want to polish your car.
Yeah.
You want to just fill those scratches in.
Yep.
You want to have the meditation of waxing.
Yep.
Then that's coming. We have the new Rotary drilling pad that just came out.
That's right.
A couple of weeks ago.
We're going to be having that soon, by the way.
Yeah. So actually, it just arrived today in the warehouse. So
that's right.
Yeah. So there's a pallet of them sitting back there.
Yeah.
But definitely, we're always improving.
Yeah.
So there are existing formulas that we're already looking at changing and evolving, but it takes time to do that.
Yeah.
We're not white labeling other people's products. We're actually designing and blending and doing that all ourselves. Well, not the blending, but the designing and the formulation is all us.
And what you want out of that product.
Exactly. So in that, new technologies evolve all the time, and new raw materials are available to us. And when a new raw material is available, we look at it and go, okay, should we, can we, and how can we incorporate this, and why? If it's just to be new, then no, there's no point in doing that. But if it does bring an improvement to the formulation, to the user experience, to the longevity or whatever aspect,
the process of detail,
then we're going to look at it and see if it can be incorporated.
That's amazing, and that's actually been what most of the DIY Detail products do anyways. They're no-nonsense products, straight to the point, and they work right off the bat. Do you still enjoy waxing cars?
Yes.
Yvan? Yeah?
Yeah, it's good meditation.
It's good meditation. Yeah. If I were to say, if someone were to give me the option to coat or wax car, I'm probably going to choose the wax right away, because I'm a little old school. I still do love waxing cars. I used to use glazes too, but I don't use glazes anymore, right? So, but I still do love waxing the car.
Yeah.
All right, we have a few more here. This does not have a handle, but if you're listening, you know this is yours. So how do you manage customers' expectation before, during, and after a job? So I'm assuming he's a
professional detailer. Yeah. Managing the customer's expectations is easy. They're lower than yours are every time. So managing your expectations is actually that's the tricky part.
Yeah.
As detailers, we see things that customers will never see.
It's a curse.
Yeah, it's a disease. But basically, we see things that they don't see.
Yeah.
You know, we pull up to a light, we see a white car that needs iron remover, a black car that has rotary swirls all over it, and a red car that has rids.
Yeah.
They see a white Chevy, a black Ford, and a red Volkswagen.
Yeah.
That's what they see. So people see different things. And to manage your customers' expectations is ask them a few questions. Very simple. When they come to you, why are you here? And you might want to phrase it a little differently, but you know, what can we do to help you? What is bothering you with your vehicle?
Yeah.
And once you find that out, as detailers, we look at the car and it's all swirled, and they're saying, I want to make it shiny, or I want it like showroom.
Yeah.
As detailers, we know a car coming out of the showroom is scratched and looks like crap and is swirled.
Yeah.
But to 99.9% of the people on the road, that's the best a car can ever be.
Yeah.
We know as detailers, we can make it much, much better.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So managing the customer's expectations, not a big deal. Managing your expectations, that's the scientific part.
That is very true, because I have worked on a vehicle before, and I did a one-step.
Yeah.
It got 85% of the way. She was so excited and blown away to how bad it was and to how it was at that time, and she was insane, and she was like laughing. She was all over it. And she was like, "What'd you do to it? Some sort of magic potion or something?" I'm like, "Nope, just a one-step polish. It took me this many hours, and that was it."
Exactly.
Oh, that's all she did.
Yeah. You know, one interesting fact: we used to work for dealerships a lot.
Yeah.
And we were their emergency department. So the one dealership we worked with, when their wash guy was on holidays or whatever, we'd all of a sudden get a flood of vehicles from them.
Yeah.
And we started doing them. Then, 2 or 3 days in, the sales manager calls me up and says, "Look, we're not paying you guys to wax these cars."
Yeah.
It's like, we're not waxing them, we're just washing them.
Yeah.
But our wash process was better than theirs. And to them, he thought we were waxing every car.
It's like, wait, what technique are you guys doing then, right?
But basically, his expectation was, we were exceeding his expectation with our regular wash. And to him, it's like, I don't want to pay for that. It's like, no, don't worry, you're not paying for it. So, yeah.
Awesome. There you have it, guys. All right, we got one here by RRL313. Your favorite recommended cordless polisher if you could only choose one. It's very specific.
Yeah, very specific. I would go with the Milwaukee.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the Flex makes a great machine. If we look at the Flex Rotary, the top speed, even though I'm a low speed polisher, I like cleaning my pads.
Yeah.
So the top speed is too low to clean out the pads properly. Whereas the Milwaukee does that. The Milwaukee, you also have the advantage of, they're the only ones that make a 21 millimeter DA. And if I'm gonna buy a DA, I'm gonna go all the way.
Yeah, 21.
So, 21, because I use the DA for cutting and I use the rotary for finishing.
Yeah. There you have it. Milwaukee. I haven't tried it yet.
Yeah.
Feel great?
Yeah, personally, I'm not a fan of cordless tools.
Yeah.
So I much rather have a cord than the weight of the battery.
Right.
So
consistent power.
Yeah, and it's personal preference.
Yeah, okay.
So, and if you are invested in a battery system, because that's what we're dealing with here.
Yeah.
If you have all DeWalt tools, the DeWalt polishers are good as well.
Yeah.
If you have Ryobi, their polisher, no. I have one. It's just a little 8 millimeter. It's not. It's not the best. But I use it for cleaning seats, things like that. Not for polishing paint. But definitely, if you're invested in a system, look what they have.
Yeah.
If you have no system whatsoever, then the Milwaukee is a good choice. And you can get them just about everywhere.
I'm definitely gonna have to give that a shot myself.
Yep.
So we have one here by Sale 1578. Let's see, how should I store a detailing sponge to prevent dirt accumulation and mold?
If you have a grit guard in your bucket, take the water or the liquid out of the bucket, wring out your sponge, rinse it maybe, put it back in the bucket. It has air circulation around it. You're good.
Perfect. Nice and simple.
Yep.
All right, we got a few more here that we're gonna go through by _ the AMG Kid.
Probably drives a Mercedes.
You
just
probably
a guess. Just a guess here.
I was just gonna say too. M3? No.
Yeah.
No? AMG. All right. Cool. So with so many different coatings on the market, what makes DIY's ceramic coating different?
Different. We have a couple things that are a little different. First of all, it's a composite technology. So we don't just have SiO2, or we just don't have SiC.
Yeah.
It's a combination of polysiloxane, silicon carbide, silicon dioxide, and silicon nitride.
Yeah.
So, and we have a graphene coating as well.
Fantastic.
But other than that, simplicity, ease of use, and how quickly you can release it. So if you're a professional detailer, or if you're detailing in your driveway, 1 hour after you've applied the coating, off it goes.
Perfect.
Or if you're, like I said, detailing in your driveway, it rains, you didn't have to wait 24 hours before it got wet.
Yeah. But the DIY, and plus, on top of that, the DIY detail coatings are really easy to work with too.
Yes.
We're definitely going to be coating a few cars with that, as I mentioned earlier.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so we have one by Mayor _ Stanley. Sorry if I messed that up. First time DIYer here. What are the basic steps, products for external clean and protection? So I'm assuming he might want some product recommendations from you as well?
Yeah, so depending on how you're wanting to do it, you can either do a rinseless wash or incredible suds, your choice.
Yep.
If you don't have a pressure washer, you just have a hose, don't need to go out and buy a pressure washer. If you are buying a pressure washer, AR Blue, or Active. But AR Blue is a lot better.
AR is amazing.
Yeah, they're amazing machines. But you don't need to go out and buy all sorts of things to start detailing your car. You need a bucket. You need some form of wash media that could be a wash mitt or the sponge. You need some form of emulsification. So you're either going to use incredible suds or rinseless wash, depending on which way you want to go.
Yep.
And then for protection, either ceramic gloss if you're using the rinseless wash, and if you're using the incredible suds where you're rinsing, then quick beads. And now you've washed it, you've protected it. The rinseless wash is also great at cleaning your interior, cleaning your glass. So it's a very versatile product.
Doing quite a bit, yeah. All right, thank you for that, Ivan. We got another one here. It's a pretty long one. It's by Brad. Straightforward name, nice. So Brad, he says, I have a 2018 Ram with Delmonico red paint. Earlier this year, I ceramic coated it. Turned out great. Now the hood and TPPS fenders are really rough to the touch. Still bleeding well. Hope that is bleeding. It might be a... Beating. Still beating well. Still beating well. What happened and how should I correct this? It seems like it needs to be clayed.
Right. So yes, probably contamination. Two ways of getting rid of contamination. One is chemical, one is mechanical. So if you want to do a chemical decon, you start off with something that is basic, so all clean, diluted 15:1, foam it on, let it sit there, rinse it off. Then water spot remover. The water spot remover will get rid of embedded chemicals, or not necessarily chemicals, but calcium. Road stuff. We're in Canada here. The winter is never friendly to our vehicles.
No, it's not.
And then we finish off with the iron remover.
Perfect.
And that's a chemical decon, basically without touching the vehicle. No mechanical agitation. The other way of doing it is using the so rinseless wash or the soap, your choice. Then using the iron remover and the decontamination towel to lightly go over the paint. It's going to remove that contamination, give you a nice smooth surface, and it's not going to mar the paint.
Perfect. Actually, which is actually the next question here. What would you prefer, a traditional clay bar or the new synthetic clays?
So the perforated synthetic decontamination towel, by far the best advancement for efficiency and safety in the industry in a long time. Clay bars, they work, but they are an abrasive. So every time you use a clay bar, you're polishing afterwards. Some people many people can get away without polishing after a clay bar, but your technique has to be really on point. Whereas with the decontamination towel, your technique can be a little off and still be safe.
Awesome. There you have it. And last but not least, Ivan, we've got one here by Southwest-Select. Where do you see the detailing industry in 10 years, 20 years, 50 years?
10 years, pretty much where we are now, but
Yeah.
a little more focus on coatings and probably fewer brands.
Okay.
You know, some brands that are popular now in 10 years probably won't be around
Yeah.
because some of them are creating lots of volume, lots of noise,
Yeah.
but no quality.
Yeah.
And quality is where the industry is going to. So quality chemicals, quality products. People are willing to pay a little more for quality as opposed to this is the cheapest crap I can buy.
Yeah.
And there's always going to be that customer that's looking for the deal, the cheap stuff.
Yeah.
But part of the industry hopefully is going away. In 20 years, who knows?
Who knows?
In 50 years, I won't be around anymore. So, if it's in 50 years, I'll be over 100 years old. I probably won't be detailing.
You just gotta pass your skills down to me, man.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and that's what I've been doing for the last 40 years is
sharing it with
education.
Yeah.
And hopefully, one hope I have for the detailing industry is that get rid of the egos and start sharing with each other.
Exactly.
Everyone can, what is it? High tide raises every boat, something like that.
Yeah.
So same deal. Help your fellow detailer.
Right.
They're not your competition.
Yeah, and remember that's contributing to the industry. When you do help others, it's not you're not hiding a secret from them or anything like that. You're actually helping them grow, and if they grow, that's improving the detail industry. By so much more.
Exactly.
So those are mainly some of the submitted questions. Do we have any questions from our audience that they want to throw in real quickly? Simply ask me, I'll shoot it back to Ivan. I do have some questions here that are not product or professional related.
Yeah.
You're gonna love these ones. How do you get your, this is by Pro Mobile Details. He's actually one of our great clients here. Pro Mobile Details, how do you get your mustache so perfect?
So, after 30 some years of training, it stays that way by itself.
Oh, yeah.
It's not anything special. There's no products involved. It's just, this is the way it grows now.
Hey man,
Yeah.
I'm pretty, because they were probably assuming you're in the mirror just twisting it or something.
No, not at all.
Well, there you have it. You got your answer, guys. Another one by Cliff Lahonen. Not a question, but thanks for the amazing products and advice that you give. Thanks for contributing to the detailing industry. That was really nice, man.
Yeah, thank you.
And that's pretty much about it. That's all the submitted questions that we have. Was there anything that you wanted to touch up on, Ivan? Maybe some updates or anything like that before we end off?
Well, follow TOC Supplies. They're always adding new products as well, so there's always new things happening at TOC. Great place, great people, and have fun.
Yeah, and also the same way too as well. Definitely follow DIY Details because they're pumping out educational content like crazy. Ivan's there along with Nick, and everyone is having fun on DIY Details. So once again, guys, thank you for joining us with this discussion type video with Yvan Lacroix here. It's a very special video, and follow us on Instagram. Of course, TOC Supplies, DIY Detail on Instagram. Make sure you like, subscribe, and if you have anything you want to share with us, comment in the section below, all right? So, Ivan, that's pretty much about it. Thank you again for coming. We love having you here. Hopefully we see you soon.
Yep.
All right?
Enjoy.
Take it easy, guys. Peace.